Welcome everybody, this is Heroes and Brews with Nerdy Dudes. We are your friendly neighborhood Beeroes, Ty,
and Kev.
And we're doing a video, that we haven't done in quite some time. And it's one of my favorites. Bureau Quick Questions becoming a favorite with it. But we're doing a nice installment of Villain or just a dick. And you know, we did a nice review on Iron Fist Season 2. So why not dive into Mr. Davos himself and find out if Davos is a villain or is he just a dick?
We're about to determine that.
We are.
And I'm not going to tell you right away.
Yes.
I'm going to wait till the end.
I'm pumped. So, Kev.
Yeah.
Davos. What intrigued you about
He is
Davos?
a freaking... Nah, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, I saw you were like, I'm going to kill him. What? I'm sorry.
What intrigued you about Davos? Like, what kind of characteristics or key moments in these series that happened made you create your decision if he was a villain or if he was a dick? Like, what things happened or his characteristics that showed off to you that he was villainous or dickish?
Sure. Well, first off, I think the actor that played him was brilliant.
Yes.
I think that I felt sympathy for him.
Yes.
You know, that's why I love when they, you know, with their antagonists on the shows, they give a lot of background.
They do.
So it's not just like, here's this being, and they're doing things against the hero, so that makes them, you know, the villain of the show.
Yeah.
And I love learning about his background, and he wanted to defeat the dragon what's it?
I don't know the dragon's name.
I know these
names.
So many names. But he wanted the Iron Fist for himself, and he was very determined to get that. And not to say that Danny Rand wasn't, but I just think that he was very... I loved his determination. I thought that he had one goal in mind, and he felt his goal, his job, his duty was to basically take out the whole city of New York.
Yeah.
Was to just dispose of people who were doing wrong, criminal activity, and it was his sole purpose to do that. And that's why he felt that he was worthy of the Iron Fist, because he was going to use it for what he thought was good. And
he thought Danny wasn't doing a good job of it because there were all these gangs running around, and he knew that if he had the Iron Fist, he would take care of said gangs and wipe them out by killing them.
Exactly. And that was so compelling to me to see this character, and he just was so convinced that what he was doing was the right thing, and there was nobody that was going to steer him in another direction. He just couldn't understand why nobody else would side with him, and that's almost like it's a disturbing, you know, trait. And I just thought his character was just very compelling. I think he was very enjoyable to watch on the screen, and
So what made me feel for him was two things. One was that he never really lost to Danny in their fight to take on the dragon. His dad called the match when Danny was on top of him.
That's
right.
Those
duels are supposed to end by submit or death.
That's true.
He did not submit. Danny did not submit. Did they both take a hell of a beating, and it lasted a while?
That fight was intense.
But Danny was on the ground once, and Davos was on top of him, beating him, and no one called it. But when Davos was on the ground and Danny had the upper hand, his dad called it. So that's where I feel for him, because it's like, I never lost that fight.
And his own father gave up on him.
Yes, technically he did because his dad called it. So technically, but the way the fight should have ended, he never lost. He didn't.
Exactly.
He didn't yield.
Yes.
And he never died.
Yes.
So technically, that fight should still be going on.
Correct.
Which I guess it is technically, because Davos still has that animosity towards Dany because he still wants that Iron Fist back.
Yes.
And it was also cool to see how close they were, which is the second point, when they were growing up, how close they were, how they were brothers, but more than brothers. They were very close.
Yeah.
So it intrigued me to see in the series how they went from being so loving together from that point when Davos got the match called to Dany leaving K'un Lun to go to New York. It's just been boiling. And it just keeps boiling to the point where he stole the Iron Fist.
Yes. And also another scene, now I don't know if this really determines whether he's a villain or a dick, but I thought another very powerful scene with him was when he was on the outside of his mother's room.
Yes.
And he was just saying, I have to go, and you may not see me again, and please just say something to me. Please tell me that you love me or something that shows that you actually care for me. And she didn't say a word. And then at one point, I love that where they had the camera.
The doorway?
Yeah, and you saw them on either side of the door, and she put her hand up and then, pulled her hand away from the door.
Yeah.
And I just felt for him.
I did.
And I have to say, and I know I said it earlier when we had our review, his whole story to me was so much stronger than Dany's.
Yeah, it was.
I felt for this guy. And not to say that I, sided with him, because obviously what he was doing was really messed up. And just the way that he was just taking people out and didn't have any remorse or anything. But that's his being.
So my thing too was, he had the Iron Fist, right? He was taking out these gangs, all the right people. But when he went to the shop owner, he was not even a bad guy.
The guy who was at the restaurant?
Yeah, so I get it. Like, you're taking out these bad guys, you feel like you're doing the right thing, but you can't. It's like you have to put in the law's hand at that point. You're not in K'un Lun, right? However, you're killing these bad guys, but once you start letting that power get to your head, and you think anyone that decides to cross you or say no to you is your enemy, that's when it starts heating up, because he put his fist through that poor guy.
That was crazy.
Yeah, like he did not even hesitate. And
he brainwashed those kids.
He did. Yeah, he had that army set up. So, Kev.
Yeah, man.
This is the point where I want to say, hey, do you think Davos is a villain? Or is he just a dick?
Well, sir.
Well, Kev.
To me, Davos is a villain. I think he encompasses everything that a villain is. If you remember way back when we discussed Wilson Fisk.
Way back when.
And I determined that he was a villain. It's the same thing. I have to say, with Marvel Netflix shows,
they produce a lot of villains.
But their villains are so compelling.
They are.
Their villains. I'm so interested in knowing more about their villains.
They're not just like one-sided,
Yes.
They have actual layers, like they're an actual protagonist.
I love how they explain these villains, these antagonists, and they really go into
their backstories,
how they became what they are.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's great storytelling, because I know, like, Marvel in the films, not including Thanos, but they really haven't had many strong villains. Maybe I don't know, Loki and Killmonger.
I love Killmonger. But you saw their backstories a little bit.
And that's true.
And I think that's key, because obviously it could be some beefy bully jock who gets powers who you're like, oh, okay, this guy's, he's just a dick. But when it's people who actually have gone through some trauma in their life, whether it's family or friends or a certain event, you kind of like, okay, I understand it. Do I agree with it? No. But I understand how you became this villain or dick.
We got to keep in mind too, when you have a television show that's 13 episodes or more or whatever, it gives oh, that's right. But rather than just showcasing everything in an hour and a half film, you have time to tell their story.
Which is why I love TV.
And that's why I don't know. I mean, the movies are fantastic. There's nothing, but I just enjoy, like, some of these stories because they're based off of comics. And when you think about comics, you think stories in comics, there's issues that make up a story.
Yes.
So that's why I think sometimes it might translate better to television.
But there are some TV shows that are 26 episodes long that don't have the depth of episodes series that have 13 to 10 episodes.
That is also very true.
It all depends on the writing, the staff, everything, the cast.
Yeah.
It all depends. I think he's a villain, completely a villain. I don't think there's a dick bone in him. I think he's a complete villain. Bone. Well, he has one dick bone, but that's whatever.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching,
here's a Brews after hours. Yeah.
I mean, if you're old enough to watch us, you're probably drinking beers too with us, so that's okay. We're allowed to say dick bone.
Hashtag dick bone.
Hashtag dick bone. But yeah, he just everything about him. He was relentless. Like even when he knew he was going down, when Danny or Mary or Walker stuck him with was it ketamine? I think it was ketamine. When he was going out, he's like, "Well, Danny, you're going with me," and just destroys his leg. Like,
oh yeah,
epic as hell, man.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy is brutal. Even when he talks with Joy and everyone, his presence is just so commanding.
Oh my gosh, he's just very. I don't do this. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Because you people do this and that, I can't wrap my head around it. Like almost is like you all disgust me.
Yeah, he's like higher than everyone.
And that's why. And for a short guy, he was very. He had a presence.
Yeah, and he's cleaning house too with him.
He was just like, I'm here for a reason, and because of all you assholes, that's why I'm here to wipe out everybody because you're not worthy of being here.
Yes.
And I think his story. I loved. I absolutely loved. So yeah, dude's a villain. Man.
He is a villain. Let us know your thoughts. Is Davos a villain, or is he just a dick? Take this. I'm about to sneeze. End it.
As always, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, do that, all the above. And as always, cheers.
Hey guys, don't forget to use our promo code on Tavor, Beeroes. It's BEEROES.
This app Tavor will open up your world to all these different craft beers that you never even knew existed. If you download the app, you may find your next favorite beer that isn't even in your area. It could be from Iowa. It could be from Texas.
Hawaii.
Who knows? Hawaii. Check it out. Check it out, guys. You won't be disappointed.